Selam Lad, and welcome back to the Ottoman campaign in Ultimate Admiral. Dreadnoughts. Yeah, the French are having like military conflict problems, and I think they're gonna end up having more of those in the coming months. Let's see. Yeah, 100 unrest, rebellious. So they are rebelliousing all over the place, or they're about to be, I think. Anyway, my battlecruisers are headed here to link up with this task force, and together they're going to fight the remaining French task force here. And what else? Well, we got some invasions going on, so can't really pull my ships away from that. But the French do have a large task force sitting here. And given that the combined tonnage of this entire task force with 8 battleships is only 321,000 tons, only, quote unquote, the battleships are probably not the biggest and scariest around. Probably very early dreadnoughts. So, once, let's see, this force here, if I can just hover over it, I think that's a battleship force, yeah? Yeah. Once this force is done with the invasion, they can go over here and fight that force. Here in the Mediterranean, we're probably gonna get some action. Got a couple battleships and a battlecruiser and a heavy cruiser headed here. That could be interesting. Let's have this task force pull away from there, and these battleships move there, so that these are the ones that get to fight these. Yeah, that's a better idea, I think. But my battlecruisers are probably a little bit low on ammo from that previous battle. Now, let's go to April and see what happens. And we have found oil in Bulgaria. There's been a revolution in France. Do I want to say yes to that, actually? The United States is having some, because they actually have a decent-sized army, and they could maybe help me out with the French land invasions. You know what? I'm gonna say yes. Are they giving me money? I don't think I'm getting a lot of money. I don't think I'm getting those monies. It would be funny if I did. No, my naval budget is, my naval funds is pretty much the same as it was. Here we go. We are fighting, 2 Revenge class battleships. Yeah, this is some kind of weird early dreadnought thing. Navire du Roi, I guess, class battlecruiser. That seems a lot more potent. 4 quadruple 17.1s. And a top speed of 30 knots. That is a scary customer. Potentially. It could be It could be hilariously bad, for all I know, but so far it seems scary. Well, that is a unique silhouette, for sure. Let's have my stuff get organized. Battleships. Gear tip. I'm not sure if you're going to be too useful here. Heavy cruisers you can follow there. How about the light cruisers? I don't know. I don't know what you can be doing that could be useful. Destroyers are already formed up. Would be nice if the one that is damaged wasn't leading the formation, but there we go. And of course, torpedo boats. Good old TB-94s. I can just have you follow the heavy cruisers, which are turning around to follow the battleships. Actually, battlecruiser can follow the heavy cruisers, and light cruisers can follow the battlecruiser. You got a Gungarmez leading the formation. And it is one of those ships that I'm not sure if I can give it the Mark IV guns. Because they just barely fit on the Isas Alevi class. And these are 13s, not 14s. But we'll find out when the time comes. No sign of them yet. They're really starting that far out. That's quite the starting range. There we go. The battlecruiser has been spotted. Let's take a look at this metal monstrosity. They are Mark IIs. Now the armor doesn't look too impressive, but then you take a look at the citadel layers, and you realize that, okay, it's actually pretty well protected. Except for the main gun turrets. 9.6 is not a whole lot. Increased ammo. Light shells, though. Cordite 2, TNT 3. Yeah, it could be pretty explosive. But going at 30 knots it is probably not going to be easy to strike with torpedoes. And it is really, really far away. My destroyers are taking fire. No sight of the battleships yet. There they are. Have we seen you before? I think we have. Yeah, it's these guys that are deceptively obsolete looking. But I'm guessing it can't be too old, given the components it has installed, like Citadel 5 and stuff like that. Let's have you two detach first. You can target the battlecruiser. You can target the first battleship. Both have launched. Second group is ready. My battleships are closing in at a glacial 21 knots. Get your torps away too, and then you can smoke up. I'm not sure if these are the ones spotting the enemy battleships. I think my ships are close enough to spot now, but it would be sad if I made my own targets invisible before launching, but it seems we're fine. Torpedo boats. Right, that's enough. Playing with torpedoes. Already hitting things. Yeah, hitting many things. No hits on that battlecruiser yet. But I think we're gonna get it. Because we are hitting just about everything they have. There we go. Battlecruiser took some hits. And it's got more torpedoes incoming. And it is being very considerate, turning broadside. We can take more hits. I think some of these will get it. Or is it just gonna squeeze in between and not take anything? No, it's gonna take at least, I think those are 2. Yeah. Nice. Still afloat. But just barely. Now my battleships are in range. We've sunk their battleship, one of the battleships, already. With those torpedo hits. My battleship guns are not really in range yet. But at least their battlecruiser is not going to be running away now. And I'm not even sure if she can actually effectively fight back. These tiny French battleships are very, very stealthy. Sixteens. Gourmet is not really in range yet with those Mark III 14s. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Now let's just see if we can... Okay, a target popped up, and of course... someone switched their targeting. You can take it with the secondaries if it gets closer. Yeah, he's gonna have to get to within secondary range if she wants to launch torpedoes. Well, they got a second one here. Of course, once they become visible, my targeting is going to get all messed up again, and I have to reselect. There we go, getting those HE extended belt penetrations for big damage. Actually, let's just go 80 on everything. Not really too effective on Guyane yet. Let's put the big French one on the thumbnail. You are firing back. That is no good. You don't hit though. And of course, several ships now switch their targeting to the destroyer. There we go. The secondaries can take care of this. There we go. Cruiser is down. We just got the 2 capital ships and the 2 destroyers left. Let's see what those 16-inch high explosive shells can do. Not too much. They're not hitting the extended belts. Something just whacked Tuareg. Needs a little bit more flooding. And she's down. Let's just go to ×5. There we go. Nice 4-belt pen on the battleship, which is sinking. Is it? No, 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 it's not. Now it is. And the battlecruiser as well. Probably not. There we go. Not going to survive that, at least. They did actually get it under control, with floatability down to less than 1%. and was starting to pump things out, but another salvo kind of sealed the deal. Crew loss of 7, no ships lost. That is perfect in my book. Right, let's see what the next one is. It is this one. And the 2 Battlecruisers are now refit and ready for action. Let's see if we can finish off these. Some of these should be badly wounded already. I'll be curious to see how well these are going to work. Look at that beautiful silhouette, though. At a top speed of 34 knots. They're going to have to slow down, actually, to not just outsail the cruisers. Only the DD-22s can keep up. You know, the 2 heroic cruisers now have some big friends to rely on. I wonder how far away I am from getting the Mark III 18s. There we go. Enemy cruiser has been spotted. Photo clue. And Kanakala. You can target Suchet. My destroyers are now in torpedo range of the enemy destroyers. Or they are in my torpedo range, rather. Almost. One in the back still is not quite in range. Alright. The front one is hiding in smoke. Very annoying. There you go. 18s are hitting. And Henri IV is in very bad shape from that one hit. That was one hit. taking out half the enemy cruiser. Yeah, 1 pen. That's what you want to see from 18-inch guns. Okay, target went down, so I guess we're targeting that one. There we go. There we go. That was that was 2 hits. 2 main belt pens. Just instantly evaporating the cruiser. It went from being basically fully intact to just completely demolished in a matter of seconds. That's what you like to see. And my DDs are actually taking care of the enemy DDs. You like to see that too. Turning circle on these. Not quite so nice to see. Are these my torpedoes? Yeah, they were. Aimed at that now sinking cruiser. That was pretty nice. I assumed that the rest of the French task force would be clustered around it. And I assumed absolutely correctly. It didn't matter that the cruiser was like wiped from this universe by the 18-inch guns. Just hitting the ships around it was the main goal, and it did work. 14 torpedo hits. A couple light cruisers left, but mostly destroyers. There we go. Some more big hits. Ship's getting demolished. Yeah, I think this enemy task force will be completely sunk. At least that's the plan. The two heroic cruisers will probably run out of ammo, but we got the two big battlecruisers to pick up the slack. They both got a seasoned crew, despite not having seen combat before. That's pretty neat. So Shay sinks. How about you target the light cruiser instead? Yeah. I think this will be the thumbnail instead of the French abomination. If that French battlecruiser had actually proved to be some kind of a nemesis ship, then yes, but it just sank with very little fanfare. We're gonna get these two. Maybe 9-inch guns. Actually doing decent work. But not really matching up to the like massive slaps of those big 18s. Now you don't have that much armor. Yeah, you're HE penable. Let's try with AP. Oh, I mean, the HE is gonna score a main belt pens anyway. Let's get this over with before start getting too annoyed at the weather. just overpetting. Cruisers are almost out of HE. The guy Twain goes down. And Estrez probably gonna sink soon as well. Yeah, there we go. Out of HE on Bigodich. Balia still has some HE left. And HE they will need fighting destroyers. I could bring my destroyers back and like gunfight them. But I don't want to drive into torpedoes in this weather when I can't see torpedoes and lose. Well, the DD-22s are quite expensive. None of you launched, right? No. We're good. Because these battlecruisers are definitely expensive, and I do not want them eating a full like buffet of torpedoes. I'm not taking a single hit, by the way. Just want to point that out. One destroyer left. Can we get it? Yeah, there we go. Main tower pen by an 18.5 high explosive shell. That's gotta hurt. Nice. Now let's see what is happening now that the battles are all fought. I'm losing some transports, 9 this month. But that's not too bad compared to France. And if it was not for those 2 battles, I would probably have some unrest now. For my army taking, what was it, Bechuana land. And it's gonna be more. Because we are marching all over the place. But so are the French. Even advancing into eastern England. Right. We're gonna take Singapore from them. We're gonna take Sumatra from them. They're gonna take northwest Italy from me. They're gonna take northern Spain from me. Don't really have any ships to send into this circle right now. They are invading Tripolitania. I'm sending these to Valletta instead. Just so if and when I lose Tripoli, they don't just get scattered. Alright, let's just see what we get. In fact, Thailand. I want to launch an invasion of Thailand. There we go. Just so that next turn when these are done, I can send a task force up here and grab it. Because that's a very valuable territory. We got a couple of meetings. I think one of them is just a single destroyer. Here we go. Another one of those big battlecruisers. And all we have is a super obsolete old super pre-dreadnought. And some old armored cruisers. And the TB-98s, which are just inferior to the TB-94s. Because they haven't had the same refits. These are the only three I have left. So this class is basically just relegated to reserve duty. Soon to be museum ships. So that is a scary opponent for this task force. It's going to come down to the torpedo boats, I think. But who knows? Maybe the super pre-dreadnought will actually help a little bit. It's got decent gun range on those 17s. We're not outranged by that much. You can just follow by Zed. You can follow here. Actually, yeah, these are both quite old. They got oxygen torpedoes. The torpedo boats do not. Okay, if you guys got oxygen torpedoes, you might be useful. "20" not even 24. So we'll see. We'll see if they can be useful. And by Zed opens fire. Let's get those torpedo boats in here. Leading boat. And go straight in. Need to get close because your torpedoes are dead slow. -5. Hang on. Need to do this on pause. I anticipate that this one will try to turn away. And then I want -5 waiting for her over there. What the hit you then? Oh, lucky hit. That's unfortunate that it got hit. Because now it can't turn. Now you're taking hits. And you need to get closer, really, to launch. Because the torps are slower than the target. You haven't hit anything yet by Zed. Yeah, look at that lead from the torps. It's a bit extreme. Yeah, the TB-94s would have been so much better. It would have taken fewer hits too, because they're smaller. Are we gonna get torpedo hits? We might. We might actually. Yeah, you detected enemy torpedoes, but it might be too late for you, Navir. You're gonna take a whole bunch of them. Yeah, you took a whole bunch of them. I think that's worth the sacrifice of two old torpedo boats. We can bring these light cruisers in to finish it. If we have to. I just don't want you sinking my my Bayezid. Oh, we're good. Those torpedoes were enough. Yeah, that was Dash 6. Did not die in vain. Great. Which means the last remaining TB-98 will have to become a museum ship. Cusk Class Destroyer, just a single one. I'm not gonna bore you with this one. I'm just gonna do it off camera, I guess. And I will see you next time. Goodbye, and take care.